So I have an email. The state attorney sent an email asking for a case file, and there's evidence that I'm trying to submit. But the problem is I messed up the ground a bit because I talked to multiple officers.
I got you.
So first, Officer Tebow took the intake, made me realize I was being defrauded.
Okay.
And you probably don't have the full picture of what's going on.
Okay.
Long story short, I'm a medical doctor. I owned a box truck and a Prius. They were supposed to be used to make a company. Both were fully operational. But this kid on the street, because I also had an RV, he told me he was a mechanic. I was gullible.
Okay.
Kid tells me he wants to rent my car, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, well, I have a document, so I started preparing the contract. He takes the car, but doesn't execute the contract and tells me I don't want it, but keeps the vehicle in his possession.
Okay.
Refuses to bring it back. Starts dancing because he damages the vehicle, and then he's just abandons it in Bartlett.
Okay.
I had to go on Thanksgiving to Des Plaines. I didn't know about the difference between where the cutoff was.
Okay.
Des Plaines calls him. I have the video because I realized the issue is that police officers are not psychic.
Right.
So I've been collecting all the evidence just so I can go see the officers and be like, see, I talked to this gentleman, I talked to this officer, I talked to this officer, so they can kind of piece together all the pieces.
Okay.
Thanksgiving, the kid lies to me before Thanksgiving because he also took the box truck.
Okay.
The box truck,
So he had the Prius and the box truck.
he had lied to me, fraud by deception, first telling me that he was a licensed mechanic at a shop. The truck was fully operational. I briefly talked to Deputy Chief on the phone, Tweedy,
Yeah.
because I was induced to believe he was a licensed mechanic with a shop.
Right.
And my truck was already fully operational. It was 10 grand value. And I brought the records to show that it was fully operational and paid for by operational from a licensed registered mechanic.
Okay.
But I haven't been able to give that to the officers to show what they asked.
Okay.
Kid took the box truck, disappears. I'm like, where the hell are you going? Where are you? Blocks his number. Starts destroying the box truck because we don't know where it is.
Okay.
We found out now. Had the Prius under the fraud that he's going to rent it, but he took it and just started doing unauthorized changes to it until he destroyed it.
Okay.
When Des Plaines PD reached him to shake him, I have the video of that. The kid started freaking out because we had found out he just got arrested. He told the officer, McConnelly, that he was arrested in a stolen vehicle and he's on probation. So he was scared of getting another charge.
Okay.
He told them that he's going to return my property immediately. When he shows up, tells me where the cars are located. The cars are destroyed already.
Okay.
And he dumps keys on him. Says, see, I give him back the property. That doesn't work that way. Because you just fraud by deception to take my car.
Okay.
Right? Unauthorized use of my vehicle. Holding possession of my vehicle. Property damage, 5 grand the Prius. 10 grand the truck.
Okay.
Abandonment. One of them in Bartlett. And the other one, we finally found out that he dumped it. He doesn't own a shop like he says. He actually was living on the south side.
Okay.
And he just abandoned the truck and put water in the engine and destroyed it.
Okay.
And he abandoned that truck there and started stripping it. I had to find this out because I called in and I went all the way there. And the kid, in order to conceal the evidence, when he showed up and told officers in Des Plaines that he was going to fix the damages he created to avoid being charged and return the possession,
Okay.
instead he showed up with a document for me that he wanted me to sign that I'm not going to file any claims, dismiss anything that I'm going to present to officers or anything, coercing me, trying to sign it, and then I brought that document in and I gave it to Officer Tebow.
Okay.
Because this was his way of trying to cover his tracks.
Right.
He also had cooked a bunch of invoices because he wanted me to, in the document, to say I authorized all these repairs.
Okay.
Because he was trying to conceal it as a civil matter, that I wasn't paying him to do the job, even though he never had authorization to do the job, because he wasn't supposed to touch the car.
Okay.
He was supposed to bring back my possession. I didn't sign it. And then he started saying, oh, we had a verbal contract. I'm like, no. He's like, why not? I'm like, well, number one, statute of frauds says that anything over $500 has to be in writing. Any rental agreement for a vehicle or anything of that matter above a certain threshold has to be in writing.
Okay.
Any work order on a vehicle or something like that needs to be pre-authorized by the owner.
Okay.
He did none of that. He was trying to cook the books to try to evade officers from being aware of his actions, and he wanted to trick me to sign.
Okay.
Issue I had with that is that as soon as I saw that, I know I got agitated and nervous, victim of a crime, victim of.
So you made a report though.
I didn't, because the problem I'm having, sir, I
Did you say
made.
you didn't?
I did partially, because the problem I had is that I got panicked. So when I kept coming in, and I was like not remembering what case number, not remembering who I talked to, didn't remember the officers' names.
Okay.
So I sat first with, and now I'm kind of retroactively trying to piece it together and keep myself integrated. So like Officer Tebow, he told me, show us the document that you told him to bring back the vehicle. So I found that document. I told him to bring back the vehicle, but when I came back, Officer Tebow wasn't here. So I ended up talking to Sergeant Anthony or Angelo. Nice man, a little bit elder, Italian, I think.
Oh, Lizzo.
Lizzo. And then I told him a bit about the story. And then he told me, you go find your vehicles. You go, and I'm like, the vehicles are destroyed. You know, they're destroyed. So then I came back again because it all started coming together, what had happened.
Okay.
And then I came in, and then Sergeant Berg was here. But Sergeant Berg didn't have the full picture of the story.
Right.
And then me and him got in tension because I'm like, I can't submit evidence. You know, I'm like, I'm the victim of the crime. He's like, no. I'm like, I'm trying to declare the car stolen because when I went to Bartlett, they told me that you gave them the exchange in Mount Prospect. So, and they located the car destroyed, demolished.
Right.
But they're like, but they can't take the theft report because it has to happen from the jurisdiction. I'm learning at the same time from where it came. So Berg didn't respond. And then me and him had tensions. And I'm like, you don't yell at me. I'm victim of a crime here.
Okay.
You don't, you know? And then I ended up copying Deputy Chief Tweedy so he could see. I called him, very nice man. He told me, he's like, do you have photos of the car before the exchange? I'm like, yeah, I do. So I sent photos, but I don't know if he read it because you guys are busy. And the photos, car was perfect. Showed the document with me saying, return the vehicle, Dino telling me he wants to rent, but then he just says, no, I'm not going to rent it, but keeps possession, unlawful possession of my vehicle, destroys it, dumps it.
So my question is, how did he get possession of your vehicle if you didn't authorize him?
So he induced it. So the deception, I relied on a false statement, 2 false statements. First, I relied on his misrepresentation that he wants to rent the vehicle. So by him coming all the way here and saying, yes, I want to rent it, and I'm like, well, here's the document, right? And then him saying, yeah, takes the vehicle, then texts me, I'm not going to sign, I don't want the vehicle.
But never brings it.
But elects not to bring it back.
Okay.
So that right off the cusps, fraud by deception, because he took from me a vehicle inducing me to think that this is him wanting to rent it.
Okay.
Then he has unauthorized possession, because I wrote to him, bring it back, I want it back today. That was in September.
You text him?
Yeah, and you respond in September.
In September?
In September.
Okay.
And then he had damaged the vehicle. So he showed me, he's like, I destroyed the back and I destroyed the front. He admit that to Bartlett, right? And then what he was doing is, because he's a mechanic, he's deactivating my vehicles so I can't actually figure out how to get where, I don't know where they are, and he's damaging them.
Okay.
So he kept giving us the runaround. And I didn't know, because I was gullible,
Right.
until McNally in Des Plaines told me, don't feed these guys, they're playing games. He's like, get your possession. So he called on Thanksgiving. So So now we have unauthorized possession, destruction in excess of $5,000 on my car and trucks. When Officer McNally called him and told him, bring back the damn vehicle,
Right.
the kid shows up. He's told McNally to be back in an hour to give me the keys and shit, but he doesn't show up until like 3 days later, and he brings me to the damaged vehicle, at which point he tries to get me to sign that document to waive, to like, oh, it was all like this before, no, trying to waive any accountability
Right.
for what he's done. And I was like, no, I'm not signing that.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he tells Bartlett, oh, it was an oral contract, and because he's trying to claim that that document he wanted me to sign was an oral contract. I said, no, I didn't say yes to that. That's obstruction of justice. This is obstruction. You're asking me not to report you to the officers and the state.
Okay.
So I'm not signing any of that.
Right.
And then the Bartlett officer said, well, didn't you say this was going to be civil? I'm like, no. The component of me suing him for damages, if he's collectible, which he's not, right? That's a civil component. But the criminal component, in the chronological order, this is what I'm trying to get to. So him inducing me to take my car in September, him unauthorized possession in September, him destruction of property, him abandonment of property. These are all criminal components.
So I guess I think I'm following the story. So what is it that you want us to do right now?
You see how I kind of gave you that entire story?
Yeah.
So when I started giving pieces to the state attorney, he was like, send me the case file. But I can't have no officer has the whole story because I haven't had a chance to kind of piece it together like I did with you right now.
Right. But who did you make reports with?
That's where I messed up the water. First we had Thibault.
So what did you tell Officer Thibault?
Thibault, I showed him the pattern of what he was doing and the document he tried to get me to sign. That's
So
what,
basically what you told me.
just the beginning.
Okay.
And then Thibault told me that get the demand, get your vehicles back. If he doesn't respond and bring you back the vehicles, come back again and we'll go the next steps.
Okay.
So that was Thibault. Then I came back, Thibault wasn't working because you guys have different shifts. Normal. Everyone has shifts and families. I showed up. That's when I saw Sergeant Anthony. And Sergeant Anthony told me, let's find out where the hell these trucks are and go get your stuff,
Right.
you know? But the car was destroyed. No way to get it. And then when I went originally, and I saw the car, it was non-operational and destroyed. And Bartlett was touching it and like taking pictures. I didn't want to touch it because I'm like, this is evidence and I don't want to tamper with it. Meanwhile, it eventually got towed and destroyed, right? But the truck is still this kid lied to the officer, said he gave me back possession. The truck, as of 2 days ago, is still at his house and he's dismantling it.
It's still at his house in Bartlett?
His house in South Chicago.
Okay.
So I didn't know that the 3rd District, South
Okay.
Chicago. So I showed up there. One of the guy who was my driver, James, he's a witness because he saw what was happening. This kid, Dino, had taken the vehicles through deception,
So
destroyed,
Dino's the name of the gentleman that you're having.
trying to press charges on. And he's the one that the officers called and shook and everything. And he's the one who was trying to get me to sign the documents to conceal.
Right.
Dino took the truck, opened up the engine, flooded it with water, tampered with the vehicle to create damages to these properties, then starts cooking books.
So you're thinking that he damaged vehicles so he can say, oh, you need repairs on this.
That's what he tried. Well, he tried doing that, but he didn't have any authorization to do so.
Right.
He had no authorization from me, no verbal, no written authorization to touch them. He had induced me, telling me that he owns a shop and a lot because I needed a place to store. You need a place to store a box truck.
Right.
And I was opening up a company. So I trusted him.
Right.
And then when I find out where the truck is, and the officers like sit there, they're like, he did the same dance. The same dance he did to Bartlett, the same dance he tried doing to this Plains. Oh, it's just a agreement, work order, seal the invoices. and he tried to cover up the fact that there was no invoices and there was no authorization to do work
Right.
with the same document that Officer Tebow, I showed him because he wanted me to sign it
Right.
retroactively to cover his tracks.
Yeah.
So this kid has done this now. I found out he was a repeat offender. Found out that he was in drug addictions and problems.
Okay.
And when I went to the truck, I can't tow it. I can't move it because he's disassembled it.
Okay.
And the batteries have gone missing and everything's gone missing.
But so you have the Prius back, but you don't have the.
I don't have the Prius back. The Prius is destroyed.
Oh, that got totaled.
He total loss, $5,000.
Okay.
He destroyed it so bad that it was gone.
Right.
And then then he had said that he gave back possession. This is where me and Sergeant Berg got kind of heated, right? Sergeant Berg's like, well, you had the chance to take your car back. I'm like, no, the car was destroyed. I couldn't take it back because he destroyed it already. Like, in his mind, he's
You mean like he damaged the vehicle, but
Inoperable.
was it still drivable?
no, inoperable.
Okay.
So this kid had caused so much damage to the vehicle and abandoned it. It was inoperable.
Okay.
And then Bartlett had come taking pictures. So I'm like, I'm not going to touch it. He destroyed it.
Right.
He's like, we already passed unauthorized taking possession through deception, destruction of assets and property, abandonment of property.
My question is, so you've got so many agencies involved in this?
Because he's doing it through multi-jurisdiction. That's the problem I'm having.
But it sounds like you're going mostly through Bartlett. Am I correct?
Not anymore, because Bartlett was right and the other agencies were right. They told me, and you guys told me too, wherever the vehicle was exchanged is where you commence. So that's my understanding. So since the Prius was taken at the KD Market Plaza, that's in Mount Prospect.
Right.
The truck was taken across the street. Oh, sorry, the truck originally, I had it in.
I was gonna say across from Katy Market is
No,
Displays.
right. It wasn't. I made a mistake there. So originally, the truck was given to him in Bensonville because I had it parked there for a few days,
Okay.
and it was being induced to think that he was a licensed mechanic with a shop and he was going to store it for me.
Right.
And I find out he's a guy from the south side who's stripping people's vehicles and destroying their vehicles and intentionally causing damages to them and trying to cook the books.
Okay.
You know, and that's exactly what we showed the officers. Look at all these invoices. I'm like, I don't want invoices. What authorization did you have? Where's my signatures? What are you doing altering my cars?
Right. You have record of all these text messages and everything?
I do. But the problem is that because when I get flustered, when I get nervous and anxiety, I kind of go outburst and I kind of go crazy and tell people too much stuff,
Yeah.
and it confuses and I muddy up the water. And then when I get composed and calm, you're a victim. When you're a victim, you get stressed and anxiety.
Right, right.
Now that I'm getting composed, I kind of want to sit. Actually, you're an officer,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of giving you the whole picture.
I hear you. I hear you. So based on all of that, because that is a lot.
Yeah.
You've been dealing with Officer Tebow.
Only for the first one, and then Officer Berg he didn't collect any evidence. Berg, he just got mad at me, and then
Well, what evidence was there for him to collect?
so the text exchanges that I showed that, hey, I told this guy to bring back the vehicle
Okay.
back in September and he didn't. Trying to get him to see the document with Officer Tebow that this kid's trying to get me to falsify, to like retroactively conceal when it's done.
No, I get that.
The fact Officer Sergeant Berg had a misunderstanding where he thought that this kid had given me back possession, not that the car he gave me back was destroyed, and not I couldn't take possession because it was totaled.
Right.
You know, he just threw the keys. He's like, "There, the keys are back." That's not giving me back. You destroyed the vehicle, right? You still haven't taken into account the timeline. You took a car from me in September. I told you bring it back. You elected not to bring it back. So right off the cusps, you deceived me to take the car. You are now in unlawful possession of a vehicle because I've been telling you give it back.
Right.
You're creating damages to property.
Where was the vehicle when you were asking for it back?
He had already disappeared and he was driving around. So he was like sitting there, I'll bring it right over. I just had destroyed the back. And then he would give me a story. oh, a truck had hit me and the middle of the street, and the officers were helping with this and that. And I asked him, well, where's the police report of that?
Right.
But he's like, I don't have it. I should have made one. Bunch of stories.
Gotcha.
And I was like, buddy, you just caused like damage to the car. Damage to the car. I'm gonna go to the cops. And every time I told him, I'll fix everything. Don't worry. And then all of a sudden, he just doesn't fix everything. It's just his dancing
Right, right.
to keep accumulating more and more
This is
damages to
since
the property.
September, he said.
And then finally, I didn't know what to do. I was desperate. Didn't know how to get this kid to stop.
Right.
You know. Then all of a sudden, like James, the other witness, who was the driver, he was like, he came in to try to mediate, to give the guy back his car and his truck.
Right.
What are you doing? You know? And then the kid just kept dancing around him. And then finally, he's the one who saw him. He put water in the engine to destroy the engine for the truck.
Okay.
He took apart the truck.
Right.
And he was trying, and he told James that he was retroactively creating invoices.
Right.
And I was like, is this kid crazy?
Yeah.
So then I haven't presented any of this evidence to the officers. And Sergeant Berg, the confusion was is he thought that when the kid said he gave me back the car and I gave him back the keys. I'm like, no, he didn't give me back the car. He destroyed the car and abandoned it. And then he tried saying, here are the keys in the gas tank.
Right.
That's not giving back possession.
No, I mean, if you're, I guess if you're notified of where the car is and the keys are back in your possession, technically, he has returned it. Now, granted, has he returned it in perfect condition as it was before? No.
But he had no authorization to take it in the first place.
Right, right. So,
You see what I'm saying? So like it's like saying, yeah, I committed all these crimes, but I give it back to you. Do over. Not a do over. This is law.
my question to you is, if he had it in September, if you didn't get it back by October, why didn't you report it stolen?
I have autism.
Huh?
I have autism.
That's okay.
So I'm being honest. Like I'm high functional. IQ is very high. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm gullible, and it wasn't until officers, like if you watch the video with Desplaines and Tebow, my fiance is next to me, next to Tebow. They're looking at me like, "What are you, stupid?" Like in a nice way. They didn't say it that way.
No,
But they
I
had to
understand
teach
that.
me how to read on the lines in between the lines that this is a crime or this is not right. You know?
I mean,
Like they're like,
hopefully you won't fall for something like this again. But I would say if you have a bad feeling about something like that, and it's been,
that's the problem, sir. I don't get that feel.
I get it. But I mean, you've got people around you that can.
Well, that's exactly why she
Right.
brought me in. She was like, "Come,
Right.
make the report."
Right.
My fiance told me now. She was like, "Go in, tell the officers to press charges."
Right. So here's what my suggestion to you. Since you've been dealing with Tebow, call tomorrow and ask if Officer Tebow's working. Okay.
Would you be able to take the report? You are an officer.
Yes, but here's my only thing is you've spoken to.
Well, but you're the one now who has all the picture.
Right.
They have none of the picture.
I'm just working the front desk right now. I'm just saying the fact that you are having multiple officers and multiple reports, it gets very confusing.
100%. So how do I get one person to take it? Because that's what I'm doing with
saying.
you.
If you've already been dealing with Officer Tebow, my suggestion is to see him again.
And then keep giving him all these updates.
Correct. So basically what he can do, because has he already started a report?
Yeah.
He has.
I just don't remember the number because
Right.
I can't.
That's okay. So, if he has started a report, then what he can do is do a supplemental report, which is just an addition to it.
Okay.
Okay? And if you have any further documentation or texts and all that kind of stuff, gather all that stuff so you have that for him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And then so what do I do about this truck that he's destroyed and left in the street?
That's what I'm saying. You tell him, add this to the report.
And the issue we have too is that truck, right? This kid continues going around telling people, "Oh, he wasn't paying me." What do you mean? I never authorized you to do anything.
Right.
So that's his dance.
I understand everything you're telling me right now, but like I said, when you get multiple agencies and then multiple officers involved,
It gets very confusing.
I'm confused. Trust me. So
So teach me I gave a timeline. I realized I had to do a timeline.
right.
So that's why things got chronologically better. I was like, let's do it in the timeline. And then I also separated the Prius from the truck. So that way it's easier to follow. What else would be beneficial for me to submit that could help?
Like my suggestion is take a notebook and a pad
Yes, sir.
and describe out like I spoke with this gentleman Dino on this date, this time, whatever. He was supposed to come and rent the car from you, but then didn't return it. I mean, write everything in detail, all on a piece of paper. Bring any documentation you've got, any text messages that you saved, any videos that you have taken.
Yeah, that's what I do this so I can kind of see if I've forgotten
I get
anything.
it. I understand your video. I mean, that's totally fine. So, but just so your case doesn't get lost in the shuffle.
100%. You guys deal with so much stuff. I feel bad for you guys.
But that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm suggesting to continue with the officer that you spoke with in the first.
And I also feel bad for getting upset with Officer Burke. But the thing is that he was, I don't know if if he was doing other things or whatever, or Sergeant Burke. But I'm like, dude, I'm out 15 grand and some kid's been abusing me. Help me.
No, I get it. But that's why. So like when you mentioned, Sergeant Berg and Sergeant Litzau and
It got
and
confusing.
Then talking to Officer Tebow, those are 3 different shifts.
But then the thing is that each one of them has like brilliant. They all have their brilliant ways of thinking.
Of course.
But they all have their own ways of doing things.
Right.
Humans. And then when Deputy Chief tells me, do you have photos of the car before you gave it to him? Do you have like invoices to show that the truck was operational or whatever? I'm like, brilliant. I'll go get it.
Right.
So then here are the photos of the car before. I found out the shop that originally got the truck perfectly operational.
Right.
Because he made me realize he's going to have to show pre and post
Right.
what happened. And I was
Right.
like, I didn't think about
Because
that.
at the end of the day, it's it's weird because since you didn't list it as stolen, at the end of the day, it will probably be just a civil suit, right?
Well, I tried listing it as stolen.
Which one, the Prius? Or
Well, the Prius was in your jurisdiction. I tried to list it as stolen.
When?
When I came in and realized, after it explained to me realize that this kid is running around with your damn car and destroying it, right?
Right, but at that point, he had given you the keys back, right? And,
No.
And told you.
No,
where
he
it was.
didn't. He literally, they shook him. They told him, you give back the thing, you fixed the car, or we're putting it as stolen in the system. Then the officer told me, I can't really do it. It's not my jurisdiction.
Right.
You know? He's like, but it'll work, it'll shake him.
Yeah.
And then finally when I saw what he did, I'm like, are you crazy? You just destroyed the vehicle, stole it, didn't pay me, took the vehicle, said no to the contract, dumped it in an HOA. You're a freaking menace to society. The truck, he freezes the engine, destroys it, puts water in it. He's lighting a fire under the truck next to a residential house or apartment. Like,
So, was this guy's mechanic shop? Is it down there by Katy Market?
no, which guy? The kid?
Dino.
Dino doesn't have a shop. Dino's a crackhead who's lying.
Okay.
So Dino was apparently his priors, drugs, problems with drugs, arrested in a minivan with stolen plates and a plate-on thing. That's what he confessed to Des Plaines.
Right.
And now he's running around trying to tell people, oh, yeah, it was a work order. I'm like, what work order? I never signed shit. Then he tries to get me to sign the document with Tebow to try to cover it up.
Right.
But the chronological order never had us authorize. He deceived me to take possession of the car, the Prius.
Right.
No rental. Told him, bring it back.
Right.
Damaged the car. Starts dancing. I'm going to be fixing all the damage I did for you. Doesn't actually do it.
Right.
Totals the car. Abandons the car. Blocks my number to try to avoid talking to me while still in possession of the box truck still.
Right.
Tells police, I'll return possession, don't charge me. Doesn't return possession. Tries to coerce me to trick me to sign a waiver.
Oh.
But the chronological events have already taken place.
Right.
Fraud by deception, inducing me to take possession of the vehicle, me telling him bring it back, to which he doesn't comply,
Right.
unlawful possession, damages to the vehicle in excess of $5,000, so damage to property,
Right.
abandonment of property, which we found in Bartlett. So all of these have taken place.
Right.
Inducement to make me believe, yes, you could take the box truck because you're a licensed mechanic at a shop. And you're going to store the truck for me because I need a place. We're going to put a 24-foot box truck. You can't put that in my backyard or in my front yard. You know? takes the truck. Suddenly, telling me, oh, yeah, I'm going to take care of this. And I'm like, no, I have to authorize stuff. Takes apart the truck, water in the engine,
Right.
destroys the truck, starts cooking books.
Right. So, like I said, write all this stuff down because there's a lot going on in that story. And my best suggestion to you is still speak with Officer Tebow.
Because like the civil, like, and then when I told him about I'll sue him for the damage, the kid's message to me,
What?
I showed it. He's like, because I told him, the officers, I'm one of the cops. He's like, what the fuck are you guys going to do to me? He's like, what, you going to go after my negative credit or my negative bank account?
Right.
He's like, the hell are you guys going to do to me?
Yeah.
The only thing he's afraid of is being arrested.
Right. Pressing charges. So, like I said,
And
yeah,
for me,
write all the stuff down. Like I said, bring all the text messages and just continue to speak with Officer Tebow.
like, I know this is a total loss for me.
Right.
I know, like, no matter what I do, like, you can't juice a turnip.
Right.
It's going to cost me money to go to court,
Of course.
which you're not going to get anything anyway.
Right.
But the reason I'm coming to officers here is because if this is a repeat pattern that he's been doing to people,
Right.
this is a menace to society.
Right. So that gentleman lives in the south side of Chicago?
He lives in the place, 7107 South. Well, he tried where he had the truck. After he told me, 7107 South Merrill Avenue
Okay.
in South Chicago. I didn't even know, and I went there. The officer, because he also did the dancing with him, because that officer is not aware of all of these pieces connected.
Right.
He was like, he wouldn't pay me. That's why I stopped. I'm like, you weren't supposed to touch it in the first place, you psychopath.
Right.
Right? But then
But wait, why did he take possession of the box truck though?
he had claimed he had a shop and a place to store it.
Okay.
And like, what I
So
show,
you were just paying, you were just going to pay him for the storage?
yeah, because I was opening a company.
Right.
So so the truck had already been repaired, and that's where the shop I have. So like I have the name of the shop where it was fully came perfect from, licensed facility. And that's just why I was going to bring that, because I learned after listening to Deputy Chief Tweedy, showed that everything was fully operational.
Right.
So this way it showed that the truck was fully operational,
Right.
the car was fully operational. This kid induces me through deception,
Right.
find out the truck is not it's literally, when the officers came to me, I didn't know. I'm originally from Canada.
Right.
So I don't know what borough is what borough.
Right.
But the officer that showed up on the scene, he was like, no, roll up your windows, lock the door. I'm like, I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like,
Right.
well, this is not safe. He's like, this is not a safe neighborhood.
Right. Yeah.
But, and then the kid's going around, I had to do a reverse lookup. He wouldn't, I didn't know where his address was.
Yeah.
He wouldn't tell me where his home was.
Well, yeah. He's not going to tell you that.
And then finally, the reverse lookup, I find out where his address is.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, okay, if I have to send them, Tebow had told me, send them a certified letter to bring back the thing.
Right.
So,
So you're saying no? So now the truck is on the south side, just basically dismantled.
this man, he
On
took
the street?
you want to see the video?
Huh?
You want to see on the video?
No. It's just like on the street or what?
Abandoned lot.
Okay.
Next to like this project house, it's like a Sector 8 housing. Project housing?
Yeah.
Like project housing where he's at, and the truck is just blocked on the road. He's like, I wanted to fix it right away. That's what he's telling the officers. But I'm like, no, you've had possession of it since September.
Right.
You've taken 2 vehicles, and you've destroyed both vehicles, and you've abandoned both vehicles. It's your pattern.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to tell me, and you're confessing to James, who's the driver, that that you're cooking books and invoices that are authorized, and you're telling Des Plaines PD, I'm going to fix the damages I created, don't arrest me.
Right.
And then he's claiming, because he's trying to fix the damages he created, unlawfully possessing my vehicles, that this is work I'm doing and he's supposed to pay me for. I'm supposed to pay him for the. Let me get this straight. I got 1 wife already. I don't need 2.
Right.
He's supposed to take my vehicle, destroy my vehicle, not enter into any agreement with me. I'm supposed to be paying for damages that he's done after totaling my vehicles.
Right.
Life doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, and it's that's unfair. But yeah.
And I'm not here to collect from him because he's not collectible.
Right.
But I am here to press charges because this kid, the state attorney, he can get off once, twice, but without an officer providing case report and keeping the state attorney up to date of what's going on, you're gonna have menaces like this in society all the time.
Of course.
And the risk factor, sir. Him putting fire, the picture is there. He's lighting a fire under a box truck with gasoline and oil, or whatever, diesel and oil, there with like Fred Flintstone style, lighting a fire with wood from trees and stuff next to a housing in the middle of the city.
So wait, you're saying he burned it?
The video that they sent me was him so James was like, Pat, this kid's lighting a fire under your truck. And I'm like, what do you mean? He sent me a video. He's lighting literally a fire under the truck. And I'm like, what the hell is he doing? Then I find out it's because he had destroyed the engine by putting water in the engine.
So you think he's trying to evaporate the water or whatever?
But still, stupid.
Right.
This is not a commercial zone for you to be working in. This is not a shop. You could light this truck on fire and it would catch the house on fire and kill the people living in the house.
Right.
But he doesn't understand, like, okay, what's reckless behavior? What's dangerous behavior?
Right.
When, what's arson? What is, like,
Yeah.
like, where'd you draw the line?
Gotcha. So yeah,
Is there not, there has to be some type of charges here.
right.
We don't live in the middle of.
You know what? So like us as the initial officers, we take down the report. A lot of the charges and stuff will come from the investigations department.
Is that a different department in here?
Well, they're a part of us.
Because now I don't know what to do. Because state attorney said, please send me the case file.
Right.
But I don't
So
know. I don't want to muddy the water any further.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Talk to Officer Tebow. You started talking with him,
The beginning.
and then come back with a detailed description of the sequence of events. Because I know you've told me like sort of from the start to the finish, but then we kind of bounced around a little bit. So I'm slightly confused. But
Which part, sir? Because I'm trying to clarify for myself so I can actually fix it.
And I get it. So that's what I'm saying. Write down a detailed description.
Okay.
Starting at whatever date in September 3rd, I spoke with this person. He said he was gonna, come and rent my vehicle from me. Blah 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 blah. He drove away and sent me a text. I'm not coming back, or whatever.
I changed my mind. He tried to dance. I'm not coming back. I could offer you $500 to buy it. I'm like, no.
Right.
Give me back my vehicle. And then he started saying, soon. I'm busy. Soon.
Right. And I get all that. So, but like I said, detail. Make sure you bring in the text messages, any documents that you said that he tried to get you to sign that you didn't sign. Everything, just have it all in hand. Yeah. And then I would say talk to the same officer, only because, like I said,
don't muddy the waters.
Talk to multiple officers. Sometimes it just.
Do you know how crazy the story sounds?
It sounds like a lot. My brain hurts just from listening to it.
Me too. Imagine living through it.
I wouldn't want to live through that. Trust me.
And I'm out $15,000, dude.
So you don't have the case number?
I have somewhere. No.
Okay.
Tebow has.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yeah, I have a photo of it here.